3 of the Accepted Challenge. We're going to wait for our students to find us. And in the meantime, I will go ahead and pin the video to the very top of our Facebook group, Conquer College Admissions. Okay, perfect. I see my video. Let's turn it into an announcement. Great. So if you have any questions about today's topic, make sure to add them in the comments below. I'll bring up your question and I will answer a couple of them. Day 3 is my favorite day. Actually, day 3 and day 4 are my favorite days because we're talking about interest and passion projects, all things that I can just talk about every day, all the time. And so it's really fun for me. And it's actually fun for me to talk about this kind of stuff with you guys because I know that I'm here to mentor you, I'm here to motivate you, all that stuff. So before we get started, though, I do want to quickly mention a little bit about this challenge and who is going to win. And because I've been getting a lot of questions about, well, how are you going to pick the winners, right? And even if we win, like, what are we getting? So I'm going to quickly talk a little bit about how this process works. And Wednesday is a day when you can feel like, oh, it's day 3. It's like, I have to write, I have to post, I have to attend. And so I want to give you that motivation to let you know that you need to continue. And this is not for me, right? This is for you guys. So all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you what the winner is going to get. And basically, out of all the participants, you must respond to all 5 of the prompts, and you have to try to attend as many live Q&As as possible and asking questions and things like that, because we're keeping track of who is really participating and who is showing up every day. And so we're going to actually create a list of all the students who showed up, who participated. We're going to pick about like top 20 or so. And then from there, we're going to pick out one person to be the final winner. Now, we might have some second place winner prizes. We're just not going to share with you what they are just to make this process fun. But the first prize winner will be reading Conquer College Admission membership. And this is a program where every month you're going to get master classes from me. Every month you'll be able to attend 2 live Q&As so that you can ask any individualized questions. This challenge is all about the what and the why, but the membership is really going to teach you the how. So how do I get the grades that I want? What are the resources that I need? How do I get the SAT and ACT scores that I need? All that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be that's what I'm going to be talking about in the membership. We're also going to talk about financial aid scholarships, college visits, networking, rec letter, essays, all that kind of stuff inside the membership. So the first place winner will get 1 year access to this membership, which is such a sweet deal. And I mean, I would just go for it all the way. And we're also going to be having guest experts come on and have accountability every week. You're going to also be with other high school students. It's going to be such an amazing, supportive, high energy community. And the winner will be getting access to our membership for 1 year, which is pretty nice, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you. So if you feel like, I want to stop here, I can't respond to these prompts, and I know a lot of you guys showing up 100%, I want you to show up. I still want you to come on board, and because this is ultimately not for me. This is for you. This is for you to understand what your interest is, what your passion is, and how you can show that and share that with the colleges. So I am going to bring this down now. And what we will do is we will start talking a little bit about interest and passion. So colleges are looking for high school students who are interested and passionate. And just to make things a little bit simpler, I will just go ahead and use the word passion. Passionate students when I talk about passion, it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm so passionate about aerospace. I'm so passionate about art and I'm just going to go crazy about it. That's not what passion is. Passion is someone who is willing to take action, someone who is willing to put themselves out there, someone who is willing to explore a lot. A lot of the times what high school students end up doing is they'll just stay in their room and wonder, right? They'll be on YouTube, College Confidential, Quora, whatever forums you go on, and just wonder, like, I wonder what is it that I'm interested in, or I wonder what is it that I'm passionate about. But for high school students, it's very hard to take action, and that's not your fault. I've also experienced that as well, because I was scared and I felt like I wasn't old enough to go out there and explore. And so that is the number one reason why I have my students create passion project, because if you work on your passion project, the number one thing that you're doing is taking action. And when you're taking action, there are so many benefits personally, but from the college admissions perspective, you're going to have so much to write about when it comes to writing your college essays. The worst essays that I read are the ones that do not have a story, the ones that lack authenticity, the ones that are just very general, right? Like, I'm passionate about computer science. I'm passionate about pre-med. My students dig deeper than that. So even with pre-med, we create a focus on, okay, what type of research? Who are we going to reach out to in terms of professor and mentors out there who you can connect with and get information? So it's very important that you start to be very active about what is it that you're interested in and what is it that you're passionate about. Because what high school students do in this process is they'll say, okay, to the college admission officers, I need to show this side of me, right? And sometimes we think like it's like we're checking off the boxes, right? All right, good. I went into a competition. Great. I did internship. Great. I did a summer program. It's like checking off the boxes, but colleges are not looking for that. And that is one of the biggest reasons why some of the students with good GPA and SAT scores could get deferred or rejected, is because their resume is not a story. Their resume is just you checking off the boxes. So why is that so, I would say, not the best direction to go into? Is obviously, number one, it's not going to make you a strong applicant. Number two is because why would you want to, I wouldn't say fake, but why would you want to show someone that you can do all of these things when in fact you don't want to do all of these things, right? So we start to be very dishonest with ourselves, because we think, okay, if I join CSF, if I join Interact, if I join DECA, it's going to look so good on the application. I don't really like it, but it's going to look so good, right? So we are not being in integrity with our words, and it just is not fun. Like, why would we do things that we don't want to do? And that's what I see with like a lot of high school students and even college students, is when I am speaking with a lot of college students out there, and even like people who are already doctors and lawyers and engineers, a lot of them say, I wish I explored what is it that I'm truly passionate about when I was in high school. Because right now, my life doesn't fulfill me. I go into the office at 9, I come out of the office at 5, and that's repeat. Status-wise, great. Income-wise, great. But does it make me happy? Does it fulfill me? Does it excite me? And the answer is no, right? And I'm not saying that this happens to everyone, but my mission is to help you guys, high school students right now, to use your interest and passion to make this college admission process fun. And my students who are working on passion projects are having so much fun because they're doing what they love. And once you start doing what you love, your life will change and your college admissions journey will change. What's on your resume will change. Your level of excitement will change. Your essays will change. Your interviews will change. Everything will change. However, if you work from a place of, oh my gosh, I need to show this side of me because this is what's going to make them think that I'm a good candidate, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. yourself a disservice, the college admission process a disservice. And I don't want you to look back 10 years later down the road, looking back at your high school years thinking, what was I doing? And one of the examples that I have is when I was a freshman, I thought I had to join 4 to 5 clubs. And did I want to join? No. But did I feel like I had to join? Yes. So what did that do for me? Waste time. I could have used that time to study for my classes, but I was so caught up with how am I going to be? How are they going to judge me? How are they going to perceive me based on all the things that I'm participating? Right. And then eventually, for those of you who know my story, I stopped doing those things and I focused on doing what I really wanted to do, which was education, which in turn helped me create my passion project, which is something that I'm teaching you guys right here. And when you do something that genuine, college admission officers love it. And I think I mentioned this yesterday or the first day. College admission officers are humans. They have emotions. They are moved by stories. They are never moved by the list that you have. Okay, I need to do sports, check. I need to do volunteering, check. You don't need to do sports if that's not where your expertise is at. If you want to rather create a passion project on, let's say, I don't know, starting a YouTube channel about analyzing basketball games versus you playing basketball or baseball or tennis, do what excites you. Our emotion is the number one indicator as to whether we're going in the right direction or not, right? I'm pretty sure you felt this before, right? Like when you have a lot of tests to study for, but you end up like going out with your friends, how do you feel? Do you feel really happy? No, you feel guilty. You feel shameful. You're like, oh, this like really iffy feeling. It's not going away. And you start to sort of not feel good emotionally. So our emotions are the best indicators of whether we're going in the best direction for ourselves. There is no such thing as the right direction because the right direction is different for each and every student, right? Another thing that I wanted to talk about here is colleges in the essays, when it comes to writing essays, they ask a lot of questions about passion. They ask a lot of questions about interest. And that is one of the main reasons why I created the passion project to begin with, is because when students are given this prompt, they really have nothing to write about. Or even if they were to write about something, it's not a story. It's just like general statements or cliche statements. And so then my thought is, okay, how are we going to make sure that we're going to create a great story? How are we going to make sure that we have an authentic story to tell? And that was Passion Project. And that's why it's so important for you to figure out what your interest and passion is. And for those of you wondering, okay, what is the difference between interest and passion? Interest is something that you are just literally interested in. And if you are exposed to that interest in many different levels and through many different ways, that could potentially turn into a passion, right? So we can't, some students are like, oh my gosh, I'm so passionate about playing guitar from the very beginning. But sometimes for someone, that's not always the case. So everyone works at a different level. And there is no such thing as I'm going to find my passion in 90 days, because for everyone, it's a little bit different. Now, how can you speed up that process? You can speed it up by doing more and taking action. And what I mean by taking action is starting on your passion project, networking with college admission officers, networking with professors, attending their classes. There's so many different ways. And one of the trainings that I'm actually going to add into the membership program, and all of my students are going to get that. So if you're in my Ivy League formula program, if you're my one-on-one student, I know we have a lot of one-on-one students and formula students participating in this challenge. You're also going to get the LinkedIn training. I'm going to now teach how to use LinkedIn to add in your networking strategies and getting internships and things like that, right? So you've got to take action. I can stay home all day long wondering about what my interest and passion is, but that's not going to get me anywhere, because by only taking action will you know whether you like something or not. And I use this analogy where, for example, I never really liked Thai food. I just sort of thought that in my head that I don't like Thai food, right? But recently I started trying it out. And only when I try something out do I really know whether I like it or hate it, or I'm kind of torn, right? So that's just a very easy analogy, because we all love food, and not everyone likes Korean food. Not everyone likes Thai food. Not everyone likes pasta. Actually, I think everyone likes pasta, right? Who doesn't like pasta? So do you see what I mean? Like, my mission is not for you to have a perfect, polished application, because that doesn't exist. My priority for my students is always to take action, and those action steps that you take are the ones that will be embedded into your essays, into your interviews, and your overall application. Now, another thing that I asked you guys to do, and please feel free to add in a lot of your questions, because I will go ahead and pick them out and we'll do that for sure. But let me just go ahead and share the packet for today. Okay, so here is the packet that we had you guys complete today. And I want to take a look at question number 5, which is academic interest, personal interest, strengths, values, and personality. Those 3 elements are essentially what's going to make your application. But no one really thinks about that, right? No one really teaches us, hey, you need to have your academic interests and personal interests and strengths and personalities and values. No one talks about that. What do we always talk about? Oh my gosh, my SAT score is so low. My gosh, what classes should I take? Those are very micro questions that could be solved instantly. Okay. What you really need to think about is the big picture of your application and how you present yourself. Because as I mentioned thousands of times, and I think I will say this more than thousands of times moving forward, is that colleges are not looking for a well-rounded student. They are looking for they're not looking for a well-rounded student. They're looking for a well-rounded class. So they want you to be known for something. They want you to highlight something in your application that makes them think, oh, this student could sort of fall under this category, right? This student will be under this category. And that makes a diverse class. Okay, so academic interest, personal interest, those 2 things, they come out in the college essays like 99% of the time. So if you don't know what they are, if you can't create a compelling story around what they are, if you don't have clarity on those 2 things, then what are you going to write when it comes to writing your college essays? What are you going to share with them? Right? Another mistake is maybe you will have those things set in place, but where is evidence? What did you do about it? And that's why we create passion projects, because we can bring passion projects into the application process and into the essay process with evidence, with stories, with failures, with mistakes, with successes, right? And last thing, strengths, personality, and values. That could be either or. So it's either strengths or personality or values. You don't have to have all 3 of them. So for example, one of my students, he is a great speaker. So that's his strength. And that's what his passion project is about. I know we're going to be talking about passion projects tomorrow, but I'm just telling you that this theme that you set is going to be the most clarity you're going to get in your college admissions journey and in your life to begin with. My students in the Ivy League formula program, they know that I go crazy about this, because we actually allocate an entire month finalizing our theme. Because some people could say, oh, let's just, review what they are very quickly and let's move on. No, you've got to identify what these are. Otherwise, what you decide to do for summer, what you decide to do for volunteering, what you decide to do for whatever that goes into your application is not going to make sense. So one of the questions that I get a lot from students is, well, what if my interests change? What if I'm not going to be passionate about this when I go to college? And my answer to that question is, good. We all change. What I used to like 2 years ago, I don't like anymore. When I went to USC to study business, I never thought that I would be running an online business. When I went to Harvard to learn about research methods, I never thought that I would have Facebook groups and doing this, right? We change. That's the norm, right? But you're telling colleges, this is where I am at now. This is me right now. This is me as a high school student. And that's it. Whatever comes after, we cannot predict. I cannot tell you what is it that you're going to do 2 years from now or 4 years from now. But what I can tell you with certainty is that this is what your interest is, and we want to explore that as much as possible. And colleges, one of the UC Berkeley college admission officers said, when we accept students, we know that they're going to change their majors. Not everyone, but we know that they change majors based on data. Right? Even when I was at, UCLA, going from USC, I changed my major, right? So you will change your major, and it's okay to change your major. Who said that we have to like business? If like, let's say if I'm going to major in business, who said that I need to like that for the rest of my life? No one. And we somehow think, and I think it's just like the society work and social media and just media in itself. We think, oh, if I go to a med school, I need to be a doctor. If I'm interested in bio, I need to be a doctor. If I'm interested in education, I need to be a teacher. I can be whatever I want. I can like whatever I want. I can be passionate about whatever I want. But why am I telling you to settle on these three elements is because colleges only get to see you for 2 to 3 years. Right? So freshman year, let's say you're just settling down, but at the end of the day, before you apply, you're only really getting to show the colleges about who you are within 2 to 3 years. So within 2 to 3 years, if you're continuously changing too much and you're not taking any action because you're like, I don't really know what is it that I want to do, then you're basically wasting time. Because every time, every month goes by, you're losing the opportunity to show who you are. You're losing the opportunity to take action on what's important to you and how you want to showcase yourself in the college application process. Another question that I get is, well, I'm still young. Okay, so I can be 60-year-old and I can be passionate about something. I can be 8-year-old and I can be really passionate about something. Age is just a number. It doesn't define anything. We cannot use age as an excuse to say, I don't know what I'm passionate about. I'll figure that out later. Another thing that I get from students and parents is, oh, we'll start on the college admission process when I'm a junior. Well, you've lost 2 years to really show who you are and to explore what you like. So why are we using age? Why are we using grade level to truly dictate what is it that you really want to do and what your interests and passions is? A lifelong journey. So with that in mind, I am going to answer some questions that you guys have here. And I'm going to try my best to answer the questions that are pretty repetitive so that I can help out as many students as possible. Okay. All right, so we have a student asking, do you need to win awards or have other accomplishments in order to prove that your passion is strong? Okay, I picked this question out because this is such a huge misconception. Number one, we don't need to prove our passion to anyone, even college admission officers. We're not proving our passion. We're saying, this is my interest. This is how it started. This is what I tried out. This is what I learned along the way. This is what I was able to provide. And this is the impact that I was able to make. And this is my journey. And so if I were to go to your school, I would do something very similar to this. And so that's why I think I would be a good fit for your school. Okay, so that's why I have my students create passion projects, because for high school students, it's very hard to get positions. It's hard to get internships and things like that. Of course, we have a methodology for how my students could get research assistant positions and things like that. But anyway, for this question, no, you do not need to win awards to prove your passion. Last year, one of my students who got accepted into Columbia, she didn't have any awards. She didn't. There were a lot of passionate things that she did, but that's it. Who says that we have to win awards? What if I don't want to compete, right? What if my strength, so that's one of the themes, right? What if my strength is not competing? What if I want to just make an impact in my community about, I don't know, so one of my students is creating like a podcast for immigrants. So that's what she's doing because that's what she's passionate about. What if I did that? Because that's what excites me. That's the impact that I'm making. That means that I'm exercising my interest and passion and just putting myself out there, and it excites me. So that's not to say that winning awards is bad, but if it excites you, that you want to compete, you want to get awards because it's a personal accomplishment, it excites you from the inside out, then yeah, sure. But if you're trying to prove that your passion is strong and that's the reason why you want to win these awards, then that's not a compelling reason. And college admission officers know that that's not a compelling reason by reading your essays. It's very, very simple, right? rarely, actually, I would say all of my students don't write about any of the awards that they've gotten in their essays because it doesn't make a strong case. It's not really a story, right? So most of our students write about passion projects or research that they did or internships that they had, real life experiences. All right. So I hope that that answered your question. And this is for everyone. I think this is a huge, huge misconception. All right. So okay, this is a question I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. What is the best way to find what you're passionate about? Excuse me. I have a general subject area, but I don't know specifically. So whoever requested this, I really want you to work through today's workbook. I've read a lot of different books, and I've also studied this when I was at Harvard about how we find interest, how we find passion. So I'm very invested in this topic, which is why I help my students with this. Let me go ahead and pinpoint you towards the questions that I want you to journal out. And for those of you who don't know what your interest is and you're confused about this, I encourage you to do the same. So let me go ahead and share the workbook again. Okay, so question number 1, what do you most love to do? Which means you love it so much you can do it for long stretches of time without getting tired or bored. Example, what do I love to do? I love to coach. I love to mentor. I love education. I can do it for hours and hours and hours. Like even when I'm eating dinner with my family, I can talk about education. This is not my job. This is, to me, this is something that excites me. And actually, when I was in high school, we would like go out to eat dinner and I would talk about like SATs and APs, and my dad would be like, "What's wrong with you?" Right? So to me, that's what it is. For you, what is that? You want to think about it. These answers are not going to come quickly. That's why you need to journal it out, which is the reason why I'm giving you this workbook to journal it out. Okay. Question number 2. What work do you do that doesn't seem like work? You can basically, what that means is you can do it all day long without ever feeling tired or bored. One of my students is actually working on a passion project that has to do with photography. And he's doing it because for number 2, he answered the question that he loves photography. It doesn't seem like work. It's not boring. It's fun, right? Question number 3, in your academics, what produces the highest ratio of result? So what I mean by that is you're able to get good grades or you understand the materials quickly to the amount of time spent. So for example, when I was in high school, I spent a lot of time studying for math because I knew that it's something that didn't come easily to me. So for number 3, I would not put math. For number 3, I would put something like US history or psychology or something like that. Like those things were just very, very interesting to me. And I was able to produce a lot of result. So what I mean by producing result is, are you getting good grades? Right? Are you understanding the materials quickly? One of my students, he's actually a senior. His major is physics, and he's such an amazing student. Anyway, I'm just thinking about what a great student he is. And his strength is physics and math and science, especially physics. So that's the major that he's going to go for. And it's something that he can do very, very quickly. He gets it very, very quickly, and etc. So that's what he would put for number 3. Question number 4, what extracurriculars off campus and on campus align with the responses you shared? Okay, that one is sort of more on the college admission side. But if you answer number 1, 2, and 3 and journal it out, like you're going to get so much clarity because you are asking yourself. You're not asking other people. I can't tell you what your passion is going to be, right? I can't tell you what is the best way. The best way is to journal this out and think through them, and you will seriously see so much power when you actually write down what is it that you're really interested in, when you respond to these questions. Because do we get to answer these questions in school? No. Does anyone tell us to answer these questions? No. I actually had to like figure out these questions by reading a lot of books. I had to like actually like hunt for them. And then I was like, oh, I see. That's what helps people find their passion or their interest or their calling or whatnot. Okay. And when you guys think through this process, I never ever want to hear from you that you don't have interest, that you're not a passionate person, because I strongly, firmly believe that everyone is born with the gift. Everyone who is born, including you, on this planet has a special gift or a talent. What I have as my strength, you might not have. But what you might have as your strength, I probably don't have. We're not supposed to be this perfect person, which is the reason why this college admission is driving people nuts, because we think that we need to be this perfect person. Number one, a perfect person does not exist. So get that out of your head. Number two, you have something within you. You just need to figure out what that is by asking these questions, taking massive or small or big or whatever action steps you need to take. And that's going to push you forward. And then if you can actually create a passion project on top of that, which we'll talk about tomorrow, it's just going to be a huge win for you. Huge. And I don't want you to come up with surface level questions. I want you to, or surface level answers. I want you to tell me something deep, something real. I'm going to read through these responses, whatever you guys are posting here. And of course, I'm going to look at it. But again, it's for you. It doesn't matter what your interest is to me. My concern is how can I help you find that interest, to dig deep within, right? All right, so let's see if we have some additional questions. Okay, here's another question asking, hi, Julie, is it better to work towards a major and college involving my passion instead of majors and colleges that are known to be good for my future? So that's a very vague question. So let's sort of figure what you mean by this. Colleges want to know both. They want to know your academic interest. They want to know your personal interest. So one of my students is creating a blog and a website talking about fitness and health, right? But that's not going to be her major. But because she wants to sort of go into communications, the things that she's doing for that website is going to show her communication and marketing skills, right? So to answer your question, they're going to want to see both. Okay, it's not just one academic and that's it. Because colleges ask you about your personal interest in your essays. It reads something like this. They say, when in the essays, they'll say, what is something that you want to share with us that is not in your academic world? Like, what is something that you do for fun? And they want to know what that is. And so if you have a passion project to back that up, it's wonderful. It becomes an awesome, perfect, amazing essay. Okay. And one thing is, I don't really stress to my students to worry about career, because let me tell you that your career plans will change. How do you know what kind of jobs will be out there once you graduate college 4 years later? Right? When I was in USC, we had to do this marketing report, and I actually wrote in my report that I wanted to start a online education business. But to be honest with you, when I was submitting that report, I was thinking in my head, probably not. Like, how are you going to do an online business? Like, that was unheard of, right? And what am I doing now? Right? Isn't this so crazy? So don't worry about career too much. I want you to just focus on academic interest, which is another word for major, your personal interest, and strengths, value, and personality. Okay? Don't worry about career right now, because those things will change. Those things will modify as you are navigating through your high school years. Even when I went to grad school, I was thinking, like, am I going to go into research, or am I going to go into practice? Am I going to go into being a teacher? You know, all those kinds of things. So those will change. So don't try to limit yourself to a certain career. Okay. All righty. You guys are asking some amazing question. What if your passion has to do with the career you want to go into? Then that's great. Then do that. Then you've got to create a really amazing passion project, right? That sort of combines everything. I'm just going to scroll up and see if there were any other questions that I missed. Okay, I love this question. What if you don't have a passion project yet? Is it late to find one? No. Whatever grade you're in, obviously, if you're a senior, you already submitted your application, so we just go to college, have fun, figure out your passion project there. But if you are asking this question as a freshman or a sophomore or junior, you have time. A lot of the students inside our Ivy League formula, 50% of them are juniors. So they're working on it right now. We're reaching out to professors for research right now. We're doing passion projects, building websites, all of that kind of stuff. It's so amazing. So no, it's not too late. I'm sure you're like 16 or 17. You're never late for anything. You guys, we have to chill. We have to seriously calm down and make this process more authentic and fun. That's really what we need to do here. All right. Any other questions, you guys? I know that there were a lot of questions in the beginning, so I'm just trying to find them. Okay, so this question is asking, what are the first steps to take after we have an idea for your passion project? Those are the things that I teach inside the Ivy League Formula program and our membership program. So here we're talking about sort of the what and the why is so important. But once we have that idea, those are the things that I help students out with. We create websites, we have podcasts, social media platforms, we do guest posting, all that kind of stuff. So there are many, 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 many steps that you need to take that is actually really fun. But those are the things that we cover inside our program. Oh my goodness, who is asking this question? How do you develop a theme? It's right here. Here, academic interest, personal interest, and strengths, personality, and values. That is your theme. You guys, please do not submit an application without a theme. You'll be another, I checked off all the boxes kind of an applicant. And don't you want a theme? Like, don't you want to be known for something? Don't you want to be proud of something that you did because that is something that you love to do and that's your personal interest, right? Okay, this question is also good, so I'm going to answer this one. Before you decide on your passion project, don't you have to make sure you're good at that your academics are on point? Now, passion project enables our students to focus on their academics. It's the other way around because my students are not overcommitted. They're not doing a bunch of different things that everyone else is doing. They're just focusing on a few of the things that's going to make a big difference in their application. And one of them is a passion project. And so it enables them so much more time to work on their GPA, their classes, and all that kind of stuff, right? We see students coming home from practice at like 6 p.m. My students don't have to do that. I mean, some of them do, but that's because they love what they do, right? And another thing that I've been seeing with Passion Project is that it really motivates the students to work hard and set bigger goals and to truly show the academic side. And another strategy that I would use for passion project, or a lot of my students use, is like, let's say your GPA is not that good and you're like, oh, I want to be able to like really show my passion for my academia and all that kind of stuff. Passion project is a great way to supplement that. And passion projects can be academic, they can be personal, they can be both. And so my students would really use a passion project to say, yeah, I might not have the best grades, but here's what I worked on, and here's why I'm a good fit for your department. Here's why I'm a good fit for this school. So if you're waiting until you have good grades to start your passion project, you're doing it the other way around. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to do one more question from someone who asked in the very beginning, just so that I am really answering all of your guys' question. All right, so a student is asking, I will be the first in my family to go to college. So I wanted to know how the college process works, how many majors and minors, financial aid, and etc. So I just want to give you a hug because I was the first person to go to college and grad school in my family. And I know how that feels for you. So to give a little bit of a story, I needed a lot of help with this process when I was in high school because I was very motivated and I was like, I want to get into this school and I want to do well and all that kind of stuff, right? So I visited my high school counselor and he was like eating lunch and he was like, I could, like when you can sense that that person doesn't really want to talk to you, like that's how I felt. And so out of the 4 years that I was attending my high school, I only met him like 4 times, like one-on-one. And I felt like he didn't want to answer my questions, right? And I'm not saying that all high school counselors are like this, but the inevitable truth is that high school counselors have a lot of students that they need to manage, like 400, 500 for public schools. And I attended a public school. So that is mainly the reason why I'm starting the Conquer College Admission membership. The reason why is because I want high school students to have more support on a monthly basis. So I want students to know exactly what they need to be working on that month, when they need to file the financial aid, how they can get more scholarships, how they can create their passion project, when do they have to take the SAT and ACT, what are the best steps for taking it, things like that, right? So the process, the way it works is that there are a lot of moving pieces. But what I want to share with you today, whoever is asking this question, is really identify your theme and let that theme guide you in every decision that you make in your college admissions process. And the how is all figure outable, right? The how is something that I teach. How is something that you can figure out inside our membership, or you can use other resources if you would like. But how is very easy, but it's the matter of what is my theme? How do I want to position myself? Those are the things that's going to make a huge difference. So I would start from there, and I understand that it could be a very hard process, but once someone breaks it down for you step by step, it's not that hard anymore, right? Alrighty. Are there any other questions? Oh, I have another announcement. We have our live workshop that's happening this Friday. We have two. We have one happening at something is starting. Okay, we have one happening at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and we have the second one happening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And the two workshops are essentially about what you should be focusing on for 2020. And I'm going to cover 12 different strategies on how you can really maximize your college admissions journey. And that's when I will open the doors, the enrollment to the membership program. And so I encourage you to attend live because I'm going to have 2 free gifts for everyone who attends live. And I'm also going to offer some free bonuses and things like that to the membership. So make sure to attend. I will go ahead and leave the links in the bottom of this Facebook Live. And I also talk about extracurriculars, financial aid, and all that you really need to focus on. I know there are a lot of moving pieces, and so I'm just going to organize it and recap it all for you guys so that you have a good to-do list for your 2020. I know you guys are asking questions about Passion Project, but let's do that tomorrow. And if you are trying to come up with a passion project idea right now, it's not going to work because you first need to have a strong theme. So that's what I want you to work on. And tomorrow we will talk all about passion projects. What are the ones that you can create? And day 4 packet is exactly what day 4 packet has exactly all the journals that you need. Please do it in winter vacation. Our exams are going on right now. I know. Yeah. But winter break is for, we have classes and sessions and things like that. So yeah, December, first week of December, second week of December, this was our best bet. But thank you for the suggestion. We'll go ahead and try to do it over, another time when you guys are not taking exams. That's why I have all the recordings. Of my trainings. You guys should be getting those emails every day after my webinar, after my Facebook Live is over. So during the weekend, you guys can catch up. Okay. I like this question. Would college essays be all about passions? Okay, let me give you my honest opinion, okay? When I was starting to write essays, and when I was even as a high school student, even as a college consultant, I didn't think that the essay was about passion, but it is. Because they want to know your passion, they want to know your interests, they want to know what you've done, they want to know your personality, right? They want to know all of these things. And so it is about passion. And every time we write our essays and our editors are working on essays, that's the number one thing that we focus on. And how do you show passion? The answer, by taking action. You got to show with the college admission officers that you took action. That's going to make the biggest difference. Okay, the question is asking, what's the difference between the Ivy League formula and the boot camp? So the Ivy League formula is a 6-month group college consulting program where you see me twice a month in a conference room where we get to talk one-on-one. And our number one focus is to create and execute the best passion project out there. Okay, so it's a 6-month program, and that's the Ivy League formula. And when you enroll in Ivy League formula, you will get access to the bootcamp course. Now, the bootcamp course is literally a course. So it has all the modules and lessons and videos and trainings and scripts and emails and essay training. So everything that you need to learn is in the bootcamp course. So Ivy League formula is that you have the course, but you also get my one-on-one support in a group setting to create and execute your passion project. So that is the difference. And the Ivy League formula, for those of you who are on my waitlist, okay, I wasn't going to share this, but for those of you who are on the waitlist right now because the program is closed, we are opening doors to it tomorrow, because once we have 15 students, we have to close doors. We can't accept more than 15 at once, because my formula students would know that when we have more than 15, we just can't accommodate. So we want 15 or less. So we are actually sending that out tomorrow. And then once the 15 is enrolled, then we will be closing it, and then we're probably going to open it sometime next year. I'm thinking like February or March or something like that. So if you want to stay on the wait list, you will get an email tomorrow. The enrollment to the membership opens on Friday, but the formula, we're opening it on Thursday only for the waitlisted students, because I just want to give you guys the priority before anyone else takes the spot. But you guys, Ivy League formula is such a great program. I'm not saying this because I'm doing it, because it really is a great program. It is, like all of our students who are enrolled right now, they're already working on their websites. They have so much clarity. They're helping each other out. Like sometimes I just can't believe that I'm working with these students. It's amazing. So it is really, really a great program, because you're focusing on what's going to help you stand out, and while we do that, I help you through your passion project step by step, and I come up with really good ideas. That's my strength. So I'll freak out when I come up with a good idea. I'll be like, I have an idea for you, right? So that's why it speeds up the process a lot more. Will all 15 students be working with you at the same time on the same call? So the students will come on all at once. And you might think that oh my God, it's so many people. Is it going to be helpful? It's really helpful, because you learn from other students' ideas. And every time we do some sort of like a website review or we do like passion project review, we share the screen and we share it with all the students. It's very, very collaborative. And some of my students are actually working on passion projects together. They're helping each other out. Students who, one of the things that I really liked was one student was like, oh, I'm taking an AP Lit test. And then my other student who already took AP Lit test and got a 5, he was giving her advice, right? So it's such a great community. And 15 students, that energy is just perfect. I love that number. I think if we had more than 15, it'll be too hectic, but 15 is great. And every time you come on a call, you get my one-on-one support. So it's not like a group session where I'm like teaching. It's more of like one-on-one in a group setting, in a collaborative setting, right? The cost of the program you will find out on Thursday if you're on the wait list, and you will find out on Friday if you are on our general emailing list. Okay, everything will be on the enrollment page so that you can find out a little bit more about it. But Ivy League Formula is not for everyone. It's for students who are really like ready to create their passion project. They're very mature. You are really serious about this process. You want a lot of support with other high school students who are also in the same level as you. And of course, it's sort of geared more towards students who are applying for competitive schools like Ivy League and top tier. But then again, it's for anyone who wants to just be in an awesome group with a lot of accountability and mentorship twice a month. So, and every time we meet, we say our commitments to each other, which means that we have a list of things that we're going to complete. And so we actually add in networking emails, research position emails, and all that kind of stuff too. So it's not just passion project, which is why I think it's very, very helpful. All right, you guys. Tomorrow is the best day ever because we're talking all about passion projects, and you guys are gonna love the day 4 workbook. So have fun with it. Please fill out day 3 workbook tonight, and just like turn on a really good music on Spotify or something, you know, like a really soothing music or whatever music you like. Turn off all distractions like Facebook, Instagram, all of that, and just journal by yourself. Don't do this for me, right? Just do it for yourself. And I hope that this will be an amazing experience for you. And journaling is like my number one way that I figure out what I want in life. And so I'm 100% sure that it'll help you out as well. It's just, I think we're not reflective as much, right? Especially high school students, you guys are so busy. You guys have to do this, that. There's so many different moving pieces that you just don't know what you like. And I sense that with a lot of high school students. Through the Ivy League formula, will we be receiving help in getting scholarships? So that is the information that we're going to do and learn and teach inside the membership. But if you are in the Ivy League formula, you will be getting 1 year of our membership for free. So yeah, so I guess, yeah, you will learn about how to get scholarships as well. I started to implement those things as well because I realized money is a huge reason why some students are like freaking about college, and that's normal. Like all of my generation is dealing with student debt all the time. So yeah, we want to get as many scholarships as possible. That's why I said we need to have good GPA, right? Okay, you guys, I'm trying to leave, but you guys are keep asking me questions. I'm just kidding. Can you give an example of a passion project that students generally do? I'm going to be giving examples during on the live workshop that's happening on Friday. So be sure to attend. So in the, I guess you guys are commenting here a lot. So what I'll do is, where should I put it? Yeah, the live workshop link. I'll just go ahead and put it here in the comments, and you can find it. And oh, Divya is asking this. Okay, got it. So yeah, Divya, I'll go ahead and respond to you with the workshop link. And there I'm going to share all the examples or like the most recent examples with my students. Is Ivy League Formula help available for all 4 years of high school, or is it just one time? Ivy League Formula is a 6-month program, but if you're in the Ivy League Formula, you are getting 1 year membership. So you will be getting my support for 1 year. Yeah. How long will the live workshop be? It's going to be about 1 hour. Yeah, it's going to be about 1 hour. and it's going to happen through Zoom. And the links, once you register, you will get all of those things. Okay, you guys, let's make it a mission to use our interest and passion to navigate the high school admissions process so that we can live a life that's more fulfilling, successful in every way possible. And I wish that for you, because I don't want you to look back and think, oh my gosh, I regret what I did in high school years just to impress the college admission officers. What was I thinking? Let's not come from that kind of a place, because I already made that mistake. I don't want you to make that mistake as well. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. and I'm looking forward to your guys' deep responses. Okay, bye everyone.